If you'll state your name for the record and spell your last name, please.
Jayla White, Jayla first name, and Sattidwhite.
All right, state.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hi, Jayla. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I'd like to take a few minutes and just introduce yourself to the jury. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, and are you in school at all?
I just graduated from college in October.
This October?
Oh yeah, this is October.
And then just some rules of testifying. If I'm talking, wait, if you can't hear me, ask me to repeat myself. But then also just wait for me to finish my question before you start answering, okay?
Okay.
So you just finished cosmetology school?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you plan to do?
Hopefully get into a salon soon. I took my first day test and I passed it, so I just have to take my second February and then I can start applying to salon jobs.
Okay. I would like to take you back to October 10th of 2022. Can you tell me at that time where you were living?
In Commerce, Texas, 8619 Key Northway to be exact. That was my address.
8619 Key Northway?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that in San Antonio or what?
Yeah, it's in San Antonio, Commerce.
And is that still Bear County?
Yeah, it's still Bear County.
What type of residence was that?
It was a house. It was 3 bedrooms and it was 2 stories.
Where was your bedroom?
It was kind of towards like the back right of the house, like next to my restroom.
On the first or second floor?
Second floor, sorry.
Okay. Were all the bedrooms on the second floor?
Yes, ma'am.
So around that date, October 10th of 2022, who was living in the household?
It was me, my brother, my sister, my mom, and Dominic.
And how do you know Dominic?
He was married to my mom. So, husband.
Do you know his last name?
Nicholson.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you point him out by an article of clothing that he's wearing?
White button-up shirt.
Your Honor, if the record could reflect the witness was identified the defendant. Okay, Jayla, when did Dominic come into your life?
I would say maybe around the time I was 15, when I was a freshman in high school, I believe, around that time.
When you were a freshman in high school, were you still living at the 8619 Key Northway?
Yes, ma'am.
And when can you tell me how he began to live with you?
My mom and dad had separated, and when my mom moved from an apartment to a house, he moved into the house with my mom. And then all of us were just living together, him and my siblings and my mom.
And that was when you were a freshman?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what year that would have been?
Maybe 2017, 2018, maybe around that time.
So from 2017, 2018 to 2022, y'all were living at the 8619 Key Northway.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to take and talk to you specifically about October 10th, 2022. What time did you wake up that morning?
Maybe around 9 a.m., kind of early.
What kind of stuff were you doing?
I took a shower. I had to get ready for work, so I showered. I did my makeup. I think I might have made breakfast. I don't really remember, but just like my regular routine, taking a shower, getting ready.
What time did you go to work that day?
I believe I had to be there at 1 or 2 that day, around that time.
On October 10th, who was in the household when you woke up?
It was my mom, my brother, and Dominic. My sister wasn't there. I think she spent the night somewhere else that day, or the night prior.
So as you woke up, everyone's at home except for your sister?
Yes.
How do you typically get to work?
Uber, because I don't drive still, and I didn't drive at the time. And I lived in Converse, and where I worked was about 30 minutes out, so usually Uber, my mom or anybody could give me a ride.
And on October 10th of 2022, could anyone give you a ride?
No, ma'am.
So did you call an Uber?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall about what time you called that Uber?
Maybe around, I guess it depends when I'm leaving that day, but I usually call it like 30 minutes before I have to be at work, so if I went at one that day, maybe 12:30, around 12:30-ish.
Now, from 9 to 12:30, did you have any interaction with the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
And without getting into what anybody said or anything, what interaction did you have?
My mom
I would
had,
object to relevance.
Right, what is the relevance?
Maybe
Robert?
approach,
Yes.
Let me read. Did you talk to Dominic that day without saying what anybody said?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. How soon before you ordered the Uber were you talking with the defendant?
There was maybe a 15-minute like period in between when the conversation ended and when I like ordered my Uber.
So after the conversation ended and you ordered your Uber, did you have any more interaction with the defendant between in that 15 minutes?
No, ma'am.
So how are you notified that the Uber is ready?
I get an alert on my phone that tells me like when they're nearby or when they've arrived. It notifies me.
And on October 10th of 2022, how were you notified, or when were you notified?
Well, when it was like 2 minutes away, it notified me that it was closed, and that's when like I need to get ready, and then that's when I went downstairs and got ready to get in it.
And when you were going downstairs, did you see the defendant in the house at all?
No,
To your knowledge, do you know if he was in the house and you just didn't see him?
I guess that could be possible. I just didn't see him when I was walking out.
So as you were walking out the door and you get outside, where were you standing?
Like in my driveway.
And how long were you outside before the Uber driver pulled up?
Maybe like a minute or two, not too long, because he was already pushing.
Who was outside, if anyone, while you were waiting?
I didn't see anyone out there while I was waiting.
And Your Honor, at this time, the state was asked to use the overhead.
Yes,
You could just leave.
yes. And both sides move throughout the courtroom without asking permission and defense. You can follow the state to the overhead.
okay.
Jayla, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 1 and 2. Do you recognize these documents?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do they fairly and accurately depict, I'm sorry, what do you recognize them as?
My neighborhood on subdivision.
Do they fairly and accurately depict your neighborhood and subdivision?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jayla, we'll move on. So you said you were standing in your driveway.
Mhm.
When the Uber driver pulls up, where does he park?
Like in front of my house, a little bit pulled up, but it was still like very much so pretty in front of my house.
Okay. From my understanding, are you in between two houses?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If I am looking out of your, I'm sorry, if I'm looking at your house, facing your house, which house was the Uber driver closer to, the left or the right?
The left.
Is there anything in the house to the left's yard that helps you remember that?
They have a big tree out front in their yard.
And what door of the Uber was closest to the driveway or to the curb?
Closest to the curb, like towards the inside. The type door.
Would it be the
On the
driver?
passenger side. There you go.
Yes, driver or passenger side. So the passenger door was closest to you
Mhm.
and he was at the house on your left.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you see any other cars at that time?
No, I didn't.
Do you recall the Uber driver's name?
I'm Conrad.
And Conrad, if I could quit referring to him as Uber driver. When Conrad pulled up, what did we do?
I got in the car, I started putting my seatbelt on, and he on his phone, he just started putting in our location where we're going and confirming that he picked me up.
And is that typical for when you get an Uber ride?
Yeah, it is.
So when you get in the car, after you put on your seatbelt, do you and Conrad have any sort of interaction? Do you talk?
He just asked for my name to make sure I was the one like getting in the car. I was on the Uber website.
And did you give him your name?
Mhm.
What is the next thing that you remember happening?
As I got in the car, I was putting on my seatbelt, and that's when I heard like two like pop sounds, like gunshots from behind me. I looked behind me after that to see what it was because it didn't register with me at first what exactly I heard. And then I looked behind me and I saw that Dominic was standing outside of his car. I presume it's a silver car that he had, and he had the gun in his hand and he was shooting at the car. The Uber.
So that was a lot of information. I'm just gonna break it up a little bit, okay?
That's
So how long after you put on your seatbelt did you hear the pop pops?
maybe a couple seconds. It happened pretty quickly.
In that moment that you heard the pop pop, what were you thinking?
Honestly, I was in a state of shock. It didn't register me like to me initially like what it was until I turned around. And then as soon as I turned around and I realized that's when, sorry if I'm like talking too much, but as soon as I had realized what it was, I kind of just like, I just told the Uber driver like, oh my God, like, could you please drive? And I remember I ducked down too, just because that was my initial response to have.
Let's take it just a little bit slower. So you turned around. What did you see when you turned around?
I saw Dominic, didn't have anything on.
Do you recall what he was wearing?
A black hat and a black shirt.
Did you see anything in his hands?
Again,
Do you recall what the gun looked like?
it was maybe a pistol. It was like a smaller kind of gun.
Was it something that could fit like in your hand, or was it a bigger than that weapon?
Like in your hand.
So you hear the pop pop, turn around, you see Dominic. Where is he?
He's on the driver's side of the car, and he kind of has the door open, like as it was like acting as like a shield or something, and his arm was like above the door of the car.
And what color was his car?
Silver.
Okay. And is his car facing towards your car or towards the Uber car?
Yeah, it's facing towards the Uber.
And where was he? Was he behind the door?
He was behind the door.
And that's what you saw when you look back after you first heard the pops.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After you look back and you see this, you said, was his hand raised?
Yeah, it was over.
What did he do after that?
I believe he started approaching the car, and as soon as I noticed that, that's when I ducked down and I asked the Uber driver to just drive ahead.
Why did you duck down as he was approaching the car?
I was just afraid he was gonna keep shooting, that it was gonna come through the window or something.
Did you hear any more shots after you, or as you were ducked down?
I think I heard one more shot. 2 or 3 total.
Did you actually see him walking towards your car?
I saw him.
Did you see him shooting as he was walking towards your car?
No, I didn't see if he was shooting when he was walking towards it. I just heard it.
With the gun raised still?
Yes, ma'am.
How soon after you saw him walking and you ducked down, did you hear the next shot?
Maybe quite quickly after, maybe a couple seconds again, pretty fast altogether.
And so after you ducked down on the car, you're in the car. Did any bodily functions happen?
Yeah, not to be crass, I urinated on myself just out of fear. I wouldn't.
Your Honor, I object to relevance.
That'll be overruled.
I also object to improper line of questioning in this phase.
All right, that'll be overruled.
So you urinated on yourself because you were scared.
Yes.
Your Honor, I would ask the prosecutor to stop testifying. Ask the
Sustained.
re-
So after that, what do you remember saying?
I was in a lot of shock initially. I was crying a lot. I was trying to do my best to explain to the Uber driver what was going on because I can imagine how confused he must have been. So I was like rambling a lot, just trying to explain the situation. I told him like that was my stepdad, and I just started just trying to explain the situation the best I could. After that, I ended up calling my brother and just like in tears telling him what happened.
Before we get to that, so as you're talking to the Uber driver and you're telling him all this, what did the Uber driver do?
He kept driving just to where I was on the way to work, so I guess he was just as much shocked as me. So we kept driving on the route that we were supposed to go on Uber, which was Volta at the time. And I was like the whole time I was just kind of explaining what happened exactly. Like he was trying to listen, he was confused. I didn't know what to do, and I don't think he did either. So we had just kept driving on the same route that we were supposed to go.
At some point, were you no longer able to continue driving?
Yeah, the back, I think his back tire, it got like popped by one of the shots, and we ended up like breaking down like on the highway. So
What highway was it?
I don't remember.
So after you break down on the highway, what did you do?
I was sitting there. I know I had made a call to my brother, telling him like what had happened, and then I made a call to my dad too, letting him know what had happened as well. And we were waiting. I think that he was gonna try to call roadside assistance or 911. I'm not sure which he called first, but eventually some officers ended up like coming to the scene.
So after you are on the phone with your brother, telling him what's going on, what brother is this?
Jairus, he's my only brother.
And how old is he?
He is 19.
How old was he on October 10th of 2022?
He was 16.
Do you know where he was at
And he was in the house.
at 8619?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you on the phone with your brother?
Maybe like 5 minutes. I had my sister calling me too at the time, so I was kind of cycling through people calling me, just like concerned for my sister and my brother and my dad. So maybe like 5 minutes.
While you were on the phone with your brother, did you hear or talk to anyone else on that phone call?
I did hear, yes.
Okay, what did, or who did you hear?
I heard Dominic, I heard my mom as well and my brother, like initially after it happened.
While you were on the phone? with
While I
them?
was on the phone.
Okay, so just speaking about Dominic, what did you hear him say on the phone?
Baby foot.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have you take a short break, and we're going to come back at 2:55. You are not allowed to deliberate at this time. You're not allowed to discuss anything about this case at this time. You're not allowed to communicate with anyone about this case. Everything that you are to learn about this case is to come from inside the courtroom. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right, everyone, please rise for the jurors.
So Jayla, we left off and we were talking about, you were on the phone with Jarius? Okay. When you were on the phone with Jarius, at any point, did you hear the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who else, if anybody, did you hear, without saying what they said, who else did you hear in the room?
My mom, my brother.
When you left the house, who was at your house?
My mom and my brother, and I don't know if Dominic was still there at that point, but I can see it.
And so on the phone, you are at 1604,
Yes.
and at any point did the defendant talk to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a peace officer?
No, ma'am.
Were you asking him any questions?
No, ma'am.
So these statements that he made to you, were they initiated by you?
No, ma'am.
Were they initiated by anyone else?
No, ma'am.
What did the defendant say?
Your Honor, I would object to lack of foundation and improper predicate.
All right, that'll be overruled.
What did the defendant say?
He said that he was so sorry and that he would get rid of all the guns.
Did he apologize once or more than one time?
My recollection, just the once he just said that he was so sorry.
And after he said that he would get rid of all the guns, did he say anything else to you?
No, ma'am.
Was this what you would refer to as an open line?
What?
I guess, could you still hear other people in the background?
Oh, yes. Well, my brother got back on the phone with me and was.
Not saying what he
Mhm.
said. Did you hear the defendant after that?
No, ma'am.
At some point, how did that phone call end?
I believe I might have told my brother that my dad was calling me. I was just altering through phone calls between him and between my dad and my sister.
Just one moment. Let me talk a little bit about the house. If you are looking outside of your door, okay? What is the address to your left?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Judge.
Yes.
And I'm showing you what states Exhibit 1. You've already identified it. You can use it to refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it. Do you recall the address of the house next door to you?
8623.
And what is that? Is that Key North? Who lives in that house?
Our neighbors, a family, I'm not sure how many, but.
And to your knowledge, is the defendant friends with them?
Yes, ma'am.
How long, to your knowledge, has the defendant known the people in that house?
At least a year, maybe upwards of that.
And without saying, you know, what anybody else has said, does he ever talk to the people at 8623?
Yes, ma'am.
How often would he talk to them?
Just object to relevance.
What is the relevance?
And Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. I'm your neighbor, or was it more in depth?
I was more in depth. They had a conversation.
Would the defendant ever go and hang out at 8623?
I believe so.
And just to ask, do you know any of the people by name at 8623?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever have any interaction with them?
No, ma'am.
I want to go back to when you looked back and you saw the defendant after you heard the first two pops. Was he saying anything to you?
If he was, I couldn't hear. I didn't hear.
Your Honor, I will pass the witness.
All right, defense.
Good afternoon. Ms. Jayla White, I'm Lorraine Ephraim. You called your dad
Yes,
pretty
ma'am.
quickly, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you love your dad. You wanted him there with you. Is that why you called him?
More to just let him know what was happening.
Okay. Did he show up?
Yes, later he did.
And your dad is divorced from your mom,
Yes, ma'am.
and your mom then married Dominic,
Yes, ma'am.
and you don't like him very much, do you?
Wouldn't put it that way.
Do you consider him a father?
No, ma'am.
The house next door that we're talking about, the people that live there, Black family, and the friends you're talking about are Black men
Yes, ma'am.
who are similar in age and body type, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're at the house quite often. And they sometimes party in the garage or things like that. And your neighborhood it looks like a lovely neighborhood. The houses are pretty small and pretty close together. Is that fair? And you have all of the houses were occupied, correct?
I believe so.
I mean, as far as you know, that there was no vacant homes in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay. And you've been living there since 2015, correct?
I believe so.
And so are you aware of how many times gunshots have been fired in that area?
No, ma'am.
You're not aware?
No.
Okay. Um, when your dad arrived, did you speak with him?
I'm sorry, did I speak with it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it took the deputies a little bit of time to show up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're at the vehicle on 1604,
Mhm.
and then who brings you back to the house?
My dad.
Okay. And when you get back to the house, at that time, Jairus
Mhm.
and your mom
Mhm.
and you were out in the front yard,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
And you were speaking with each other, correct?
Mhm.
And then officers approached and wanted to speak with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And they, at that point, were concerned and separated you all when they spoke to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In other words, they didn't let you, they saw that your mom, that you were speaking with your mom, correct?
Mhm.
Um, and did the officers speak to everyone there?
I believe so.
Okay, okay. That would be, did your sister arrive?
Yes, both my sisters and my brother, they all arrived around the house.
Do you remember them arriving before law enforcement?
I wasn't there when they got there. By the time I arrived back at the house, they were already there, so I'm not sure.
When you arrived back, law enforcement was already there?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so you don't really know how long it took for law enforcement to get there, correct? And the distance between, say, your front door and the street, it's not a great distance, is it?
No.
And, well, it's a lovely neighborhood. It's not it's a small front yard, correct? And all of the homes have small front yards, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, and when you came out of the house and got into waited for the Uber driver, you didn't see anyone, correct?
No, ma'am.
And when you got into the car with the Uber driver, you didn't see anyone then, did you?
No, I wasn't looking.
Okay, all right. Well, he was parked kind of in front of your house, right? Just like a little bit closer on the neighbor's side, but in front of your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't see anybody when you got into his car, correct?
No.
I'll pass the witness at this time, Your Honor.
Yes. State.
Yes, Your Honor. The neighbors at 8623, defense was saying they were similar in age to the defendant. Did they also have children at that house?
I believe so, like teenagers.
And those would not be similar in age to the defendant?
No.
You know how old the defendant is?
No, I don't.
And I just wanted to clarify, when the defense counsel was asking you about partying in the garage, was that at your residence or at 8623?
There's 86,
How often would they party together?
I'm not too sure, honestly. Yeah, if I had to guess, like maybe a couple times every other month. I'm not sure.
So this wasn't like an everyday thing?
No, it wasn't every day.
Now when you were at the 1604 location,
Mhm.
after the car had gotten a flat tire, the deputies, let me clarify, when did your dad arrive?
It was when the officers arrived at 1604, they drove me to a meeting point, with my dad. It was some parking lot and like a shopping center. I don't remember exactly, but that's when my dad arrived there, but I was already in the police car making my statement to one of the officers.
So you had already spoken to officers before your dad even arrived?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
You have you seen the neighbors party in the garage with the garage door open? And when you arrived back at the house, their garage door was open, correct?
I don't really remember.
Okay. I have nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
Your Honor, this witness would be subject to recall from the state.
All right, you may be excused, but remember that you're subject to recall. Just make sure you're available if either party wishes to recall you as a witness. Thank you. State, call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the state calls up our Deputy in Rodriguez.
Okay, all right, you may step down. Thank you. If you can raise your right hand for me. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please, and spell your last name.
Deputy Reina Rodriguez, RODRIGEZ.
All right, state.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. When I say state, I mean for them to ask the questions. That's fine. Plenty of people just said Texas. I'm like, no. All right. Yeah. State, you may proceed.
Thank you. Hi, Deputy Rodriguez. So, Deputy Rodriguez, how are you employed?
To the Bear County Sheriff's Office.
And with the Bear County Sheriff's Office, what is your current assignment?
I'm assigned to patrol on the east side.
What does that mean?
I patrol the east side of Bear County, the far east side.
And I guess to be more specific, what are your duties on patrol?
I respond to calls that I'm dispatched to, like 911 calls, whatever I'm dispatched to. If I'm flagged down, I respond to whoever needs assistance.
So if somebody calls into 911 needing officer assistance, how do you get assigned?
Dispatch will assign us. It'll come out on our key card. They'll assign whatever unit is closer, and that's how we get dispatched.
Okay. And that's to any scene that you make. That's the process.
Yes.
How long? I'm not sure if I asked. How long have you been with the BCSO, Bear County Sheriff's Office?
Going on 10 years now.
And you said you were on patrol for 5 years.
Yes.
What did you do before patrol?
I was assigned to the detention side at the job.
Okay. Does that mean you were like one of the officer or one of the deputies in the jail?
Yes.
Okay. And are you a certified peace officer?
Yes.
What does it take to become a certified peace officer?
You have to go to school. I went to school about, I would say it was 9 months. I went to San Antonio College to get my peace officer license.
And in order to get on patrol, are there any certifications or tests or anything you have to complete?
Yes.
Can you walk us through that?
You take a written exam. Once you pass the written exam, you get scheduled for a physical test, a PT test, which consists of sit-ups, push-ups, running. And then from there, once you pass that, you get scheduled to go do an IRB, which is an interview review board. Once you do that and you pass, then you get put on a list, and you just wait to go out to patrol.
Okay. And is there like an academy that you guys attend?
Yes.
What do you learn at that academy, just briefly?
Policy, law, penal code. We do reality-based training as well. Just what ifs on certain calls that we might get, stuff like that, traffic.
And after you get out of the academy, are you just on patrol, or do you have any sort of like OJ on the job training?
We have field training. We're assigned to an FTO, field training officer. We're on that for quite a while.
How long is quite a while?
It will be approximately 14 weeks. 14
When did you complete that?
in 2020.
So I want to direct your attention to this case. Do you recall what date this occurred on?
October 10th,
Do you recall of what year?
2022.
And what were you doing right before this call?
I was at a alarm residence call, and that's where I was at before I got dispatched.
What was that address?
I don't remember.
Would it help refresh your memory if you had a copy of your report in front of you?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 3. Do you recognize that? What is it? Yeah, you can just refresh your memory. Don't read directly from me. Do you have a moment to refresh your memory?
Yes.
What address were you at previously?
Your Honor, I would object to relevance.
All right, I'm sorry. Could you re-ask your question?
What address was she at right before this? And the relevance, Your Honor, is it was moments before this call. We can approach if you'd like, Judge.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be sustained
Well,
unless you can lay some foundation for it to be relevant.
yes, Your Honor, if I could just ask the next question.
Sure.
While you were on that call, did you hear anything?
Yes.
What did you hear?
I heard gunshots.
Okay. How did you know they were gunshots?
Well, through my training and experience on patrol and responding to calls, they were identified as gunshots.
And how far away was the neighborhood you were at to where you were dispatched?
It wasn't too far. It was pretty close if I heard it.
And so as soon as you heard those gunshots, do you recall how many you heard?
What I can remember, approximately six gunshots.
And are you positive or are you rounding? Or
Kind of rounding.
I just wanted to clarify that. So after you hear several gunshots, what do you do?
I leave where I'm at and I go to my car to see if anything came up on key card, which then it would appear that there was
And what is the key card, just so we can understand?
a key card is where dispatch displays the type of call we're getting dispatched to or what's pending to go respond to, and it has notes that they put in it.
And so the neighborhood you were at being so close, I guess, let me back up. What address were people being dispatched to?
Or for the shooting,
Yes. Yeah.
Key North. Oh my God, Key North. Key North Way.
And do you recall the numbers of that street?
It was, no,
I'm sorry, the numbers of the house.
where we got dispatched.
Yes.
We got dispatched to 8623. That's where we originally got dispatched.
Okay. So 8623. Would you like to take a moment to refresh your memory with your report? And what was the address that you were?
8619.
8619. Okay. So you were dispatched to 8619. How long did it take you to get there?
Not long, just a few minutes.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about the key card that you were telling us about. Do you recall what time you were dispatched?
No.
Okay. So that key card, is that something that happens in every case?
Yes,
Okay. And on that key card, does it tell you what time you were dispatched?
yes,
And on that key card, does it tell you what time you arrived?
yes.
Okay. And would it help refresh your memory if you saw that key card? Okay, I'm showing you what's been marked as States Exhibit 27. Do you recognize this? What's, what is it?
It's a detailed report of what is entered into our key card.
So if you could refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it. Can you tell me what time you were dispatched or?
Twelve 38.
Okay, and what time did you arrive? And just so I can make sure, does it describe y'all by unit numbers here?
By our call sign,
And what is your call sign?
1 out of 40.
So that would be 1A40?
40.
And so about what, how many minutes is that? So about 4 minutes, 5 minutes?
Four minutes.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So it took you about 4 minutes to get there. When you arrived at the scene, can you tell us what time of day it was?
It was daytime. I just know it was in the afternoon. Because it was close to me. It was close to the time I get off shift.
And what time do you get off shift?
That day I was getting off at 2.
So it was before 2 p.m.
It was before 2 p.m.
And what was the weather like outside?
It was sunny. I remember it was sunny. Dry. Kind of hot, but not really too hot.
So no fog or
No fog, no rain.
And what address did you arrive at?
8619.
And when you got to that address, what was your main focus when you arrived?
To make sure everyone's okay, make sure nobody was hurt.
And when you arrived, what did you do as soon as you arrived?
Since I arrived, I saw people outside, which was the neighbors. Well, neighbors, and that's when I started asking questions like, what happened, what's going on.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Deputy Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's been marked as States Exhibits 4 and 5. Do you recognize these?
Yes,
What are they?
this is the house of the neighbors. That, and this is the house of the,
Okay, and do they fairly and accurately depict how these houses looked on that day as you arrived? Do they fairly and accurately depict how the
Yeah.
houses and everything looked?
yes,
Your Honor, at this time, state would offer to admit States Exhibits 4 and 5.
No objection, Judge.
All right, States Exhibit number 4 and 5 are admitted.
Do this old school way. Like you said. As you arrived on scene, you said you saw people.
yes, ma'am.
What house were they in front of?
They were in front of the brown house,
Not the brick house.
not the brick house.
Okay. What were they? Can you describe them for us?
They were just standing there,
How many people?
approximately like 4 to 5 people outside.
And you recall what they were wearing?
Like, out of just what I remember, or dark clothing. One of them had light clothing.
And we may get back to that in just a little bit. So after you arrived out at the scene, did you ask them, or what did you ask them?
I asked them what happened, if anybody saw anything, they heard anything. They said yes.
And did they what did they tell you that helped lead your investigation at that point?
Your Honor, I would object to hearsay.
And Your Honor, I'm not using this for the truth of the matter asserted, but just so we could talk about her next actions and why she did the actions that she did.
All right, the question will be, the objection, I'm sorry, will be sustained. You can ask her what her next actions were.
So based off of what the people at 8623 told you, what was your understanding of the crime scene at that moment?
That the person involved was next door, because they pointed me next door.
After you, were you looking for any evidence at that point?
Yes,
What were you looking for?
shell casings.
Did you have any reason to believe that some of the people involved were no longer at the scene?
I didn't think anybody was there.
Okay. And without saying what anybody told you, but was that based off the information you received?
Yes.
After you finished speaking with the people at 8623, did you encounter anybody else?
Yes,
Who did you encounter?
two females approached me
Where were they approaching you from?
the sidewalk.
And was this the sidewalk that was connected to 8619 or was for the other side of the road?
No, on the other side of the road.
Okay. And how many houses down were they walking from?
They were coming from the next street.
So like a block over?
Yeah, not even a block over.
Okay. And did they have any information that you found valuable?
No.
Okay. Was it your impression that they saw anything?
No.
Okay. So after you spoke with those two, you said it was 2 women?
Yes,
After you spoke with those 2 women, what was your main focus?
trying to figure out, well, looking for evidence. I could also do at the same time when I was talking to them, looking for evidence
Where were you looking for evidence?
on the street, sidewalk.
And was that also based off the information you received from the people at 8623?
Yes,
At some point, you go to 8619.
yes.
Why did you, without saying what anybody told you, but why did you go there?
That's where I was directed.
Is that the address you were dispatched?
Yes,
And when you went to 8619, who was there? Who entered the door?
a woman.
Did you identify that woman?
Yes,
Who did you identify her as?
She was the wife. Do I say her name? Or-
You can say her name. Did you identify her?
Yes,
Okay, who did you identify her as?
Lakeisha
And was there a last name?
Nicholson.
And do you recall what her demeanor was like?
She was real nervous, like jittery.
And how could you tell that?
When she was speaking to me, her voice was a little shaky.
Was she, without saying what she said, was she making sense?
Not at first.
And what do you mean she wasn't making sense?
Just like when I was asking her what happened, she didn't know what was going on. Like if she didn't hear anything or she just wasn't making sense.
Okay. When you spoke to her, did you, after you were speaking to her, what did you ask her?
I've asked her if anybody was in the house.
Was anybody else in the house?
She said yes.
Okay. And who else was in the house, from your understanding at this time?
Your Honor, I would object to hearsay.
Sustained.
Did you identify anybody else in the house?
Yes.
Who did you identify in the house?
Your Honor, I would object. It's hearsay and it's improper foundation. She had no knowledge for who else is in the house.
Your Honor, would you like me to ask the next question?
With regards to the defense's objection, that will be sustained unless you lay the foundation that she has personal knowledge of who was in the home.
Did anybody come out of the home?
Just the wife at first.
Did anybody else come out of the home after the wife?
Yes.
Who was that person?
The son. Her son.
Who did you identify that person as?
Jarius. Jarius.
You can refresh-
Sadie White.
You can refresh your memory. What was the name?
Jarius. Sadie.
And do you recall how old he was?
I don't recall how old he was. He was young. He was under 18.
And did you have an opportunity to speak to him?
Yes.
When you were speaking to him, were you able to speak to anyone else at the same time?
No.
And I guess let me rephrase my question. Did he call anybody while you were speaking with him?
Yes.
Who did he call? Okay. And what was her name?
Jayla Sadie White.
And on the phone call with the sister, did you receive any information about her location without telling me what that information is?
Yes.
Okay. And from the information that you received, did you notify other officers?
Yes.
And did other officers respond to a scene different from the one you were at?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at some point, when Jairus comes out of the home, did he immediately walk out, or where did you first encounter him?
At the doorway.
At the doorway. Who else was at the doorway with him?
His mom.
Okay. And what did you ask him? Did you talk to him at the doorway?
I pulled him away.
Before you pulled him away, did you ask any questions at the doorway?
I did.
Okay. And without saying what he said, can you describe to me his demeanor after you asked him, or let me back up. What question did you ask?
What happened?
And after you asked that question, can you describe to me his demeanor at that time?
He was unsure of whether to respond to me or not.
And what made you believe that?
His mom was next to him.
Okay.
She was next to him.
Okay. And did he make any body movements that alerted you that you may need to pull him away?
He turned to look at her.
And was that before he answered your question?
Yeah, he turned and looked at her and then he didn't say anything.
And so at that time, what did you direct him to do?
I told him he can come like to the yard with me.
So then you separated him?
Yes.
And were you able to talk to Jairus and ask him what happened?
Yes.
At some point, are you alerted that there are other people in the house?
Yes.
And who else was in the house?
Your Honor, again, object to lack of knowledge and hearsay.
All right. We're not allowed to say what anyone else told you. If you have personal knowledge through your investigation, you can answer the question. Defense's objection will be sustained.
Who else was in the house?
Your Honor, same question, same objection.
Do you have personal knowledge of who was in the home?
No.
All right, that objection will be sustained.
Or Deputy Rodriguez, did you talk to anybody else in the home?
Yes.
Okay. And
You may ask the question.
thank you. Who did you talk to?
Dominic Nicholson.
Okay, so you did know that somebody else was in the home.
No, Your Honor, I object. That's not what she said. She's leading her witness, and she's already told this jury she didn't know who was in the house.
All right, that objection will be overruled. I'm going to ask that you listen to the question and just answer the question. And to the court reporter, can you read back the state's last question, please?
Who did you talk to?
All right, that's the question. Any objections to that question?
I do not object to the question, who did you talk to?
All right, so you can answer that question. Who did you talk to?
Who did you talk to?
Dominic Nicholson.
When you spoke to him, what were his clothes like?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Can I talk?
You can
Your
only
Honor, I object-
respond to questions that are being asked.
All right. So at some point, were you able to figure out if you spoke to everybody who was involved?
Yes.
And when you're trying to speak to these people, are you getting formal statements? Can you talk to me about the type of statement that you're trying to get from them?
They're just quick statements, just to figure out, not super detailed, just to figure out what we have at hand and how to go further about it.
And after you collect all that information, what do you do?
I detain Dominic Nicholson.
And before that, do you call anybody?
Yes.
Who do you call?
My supervisor.
And after you call your supervisor, do they typically come to the scenes?
Yes.
At some point throughout this entire investigation, do you guys, well, let me back up. Do you guys wear body cam?
Yes.
At some point throughout this entire investigation, was your body cam not working?
Yes.
Why was it not working?
It died, the battery.
And when it dies, what do you do?
I connect it to a charger in the vehicle.
You have a charger in your car?
Yes.
Okay. And how long does it take to charge up?
Takes a while to get a good charge.
At some point in this investigation, were you talking to people without your body cam on?
I did, with the presence of another officer there.
So they would have the conversation on body cam.
Yes.
And then, can you identify for me who you spoke with? Not what they said, but just who you spoke with on the scene?
With Darius, Jayla White, Akeisha, Nicholson, and then Dominic.
Did you speak to any other people? And you can refresh your memory with your report if you like.
Just the neighbors briefly, and then the two women that are pushed.
Okay. And the neighbors that you're referring to, that what address would they be at?
8623.
And then on the other side of the house, on the other side of 8619, did you speak with anyone at that location?
At 8619?
Well, yes, but the house to the left of that, 8615 would be the address.
No.
Okay, and if I could just direct your attention to your report, I believe it's gonna be page 4. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Each.
Mhm.
Um,
Did you speak to anybody else while on scene?
Yes,
Who did you speak with?
a witness.
Your Honor, I would object. She's already asked and answered. She said she didn't speak to the neighbors next door.
Right.
The witness is allowed to refresh memory with the exhibit.
All
Well,
right,
she's impeaching her own witness.
all right.
Object.
Your objection will be overruled. You can answer the question.
Did you speak with anybody else?
Yes,
Who was that person?
a witness.
And do you recall his name? And you can refresh your memory from the report to you on page 6. What was his name?
Juan Antonio Menendez.
After you spoke with everybody, did you report your findings to anybody?
Yes,
Who did you report your findings to?
to my supervisor,
And who is that?
Sergeant Lugo.
And anybody else on scene?
Yes,
Who?
the investigator,
And who is that investigator?
Guzman.
After you reported your findings to Investigator Guzman, what was your involvement in the case?
After we did that and he was detained, we just stood by till he arrived.
Till Investigator Guzman
Investigator
arrived?
Guzman.
And where were you standing by?
I was by my vehicle at that point.
What other officers were on scene with you?
Deputy Jay Rodriguez.
And where was he at?
He was, I believe he was near the house of 8619.
And what was he doing near the house?
He was just standing there.
At some point, do y'all wall off the area?
Yes,
And how do you do that?
since it's a street, we usually put our vehicles to block far out as far as we need to, and we'll put up crime safety.
And I want to go back to when you first arrived. Out of the people from 8623, I can approach Your Honor.
Yes.
May I collect the state's exhibits 4 and 5 from the witness? Looking at state's exhibit 5, how many people do you see outside of 8623?
5,
And can you describe to me their clothing?
dark clothing, black shirt, black shorts,
The individual closest to 8619, what is he wearing?
white t-shirt and white shorts.
Witness, Your Honor.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
May I take a look at the report that you're refreshing your memory with? that correct? Is that correct? 6 pages?
6.
6 pages? Okay. And a lot of information on that report, is that fair to say?
I'm sorry?
Is it fair to say a lot of information is in that report?
Yes.
And why do you write a report?
To describe the details of what happened on the scene.
Okay. And to record information for what purpose?
Record information that was given to me due to a crime being committed.
Okay. Well, you're investigating an alleged crime, correct? And part of your duty is to collect evidence, possible evidence relating to the alleged crime, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you have many individuals listed in your report, correct? Some of the people you described.
Yes.
Okay. Where are the names of the neighbors that you spoke to?
I didn't gather that information.
Okay. And there was what, 7 of them?
5.
5? Well, 5 at the house, plus the 2 ladies.
Yes, 7.
Where are their names?
I didn't get that information.
And when Lakeisha came to the door, she could have been just roused from sleep, correct?
Objection to speculation, Your Honor.
All right, that'll be sustained.
Your Honor, she asked about Lakeisha's demeanor and how she appeared. So I would urge that some line of questioning with regard to her demeanor would be
We're
relevant.
allowed to ask questions about her demeanor, but not what she thought her demeanor meant.
Okay, okay. What did she tell you that she was running a fever?
No.
I'll pass the witness at this time, Judge.
State?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Deputy Rodriguez, when you arrived at the scene and you saw the people outside 8623, why didn't you gather their information?
I was trying to determine at the time what was going on so I can start investigating there. I didn't gather the information. I don't know if somebody else did, honestly. But I was just trying to figure out what was going on and go to the active scene where actually everything occurred to get that done.
And earlier, is that because you said is that because your main focus is making sure nobody's injured?
Yes.
And when you arrived at 8623, what was their demeanor like?
They were calm, just standing around.
And what did that indicate to you?
Your Honor, I object to speculation.
Sustained.
Well, Your Honor, this is her interpretation of their action.
No.
Not what they were.
All right, so everyone, just make your objections. I'll make my ruling. The objection is sustained.
Was anybody indicating to you that they were injured?
No.
Their demeanor, you said, was calm?
Yes.
Okay. As an officer, with your training and experience, what does that, are you focused on that situation?
No.
And as for the 2 ladies that walked up, why didn't you get their information?
They said they only heard.
Okay.
Where they said where they lived on the other side. They didn't see anything.
Okay, so what information did they give you?
Just that they heard gunshots.
And just to clarify, those two interactions with the neighbors and with the two ladies, is that on your body cam?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
Um, again, the report you are reading from, that's the entirety of your report from this event, correct?
Yes.
And again, you did not take down any contact information for these people, did you?
Objection to asked and answered, Your Honor.
That'll be over.
With regard to the 7 individuals you spoke to, and some of that is on body cam, where did you record their contact information?
I didn't write it down.
Pass the witness at this time.
Any other questions?
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to clarify, defense was talking about everything happened is in your report. Is your report a summary of what happened? Okay, is everything that happened presumably on either your body cam or somebody else's body cam?
Your Honor, presumption is speculation and I object.
All right, that'll be overruled. You can answer the question.
Yes.
I will pass the witness, Your Honor, and the state doesn't have any.
Defense?
Why did you write the report? Because it's important, right? And you write the report because you want information available to further the investigation, right?
Yes.
And you write the report so that there's as much information as possible
Yes.
that you collect from the scene and surrounding scenes, right?
Yes.
And you write the report because you know that it could be used in a criminal prosecution, correct?
Yes.
And you would agree that that's important. That's the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, is this witness excused or subject to recall?
Subject to recall from the state, Your Honor.
All right, you just need to make sure that you're available if either party decides to recall you as a witness. Thank you. State, you may call your next witness.
State calls Deputy J. Rodriguez.
Hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. Please spell your name and make sure you keep your voice raised so that the members of the jury can hear.
My name is Joseph Rodriguez.
All right,
Deputy Rodriguez, who are you employed with?
I'm employed with Bear County.
Is that the Bear County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, the Bear County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been employed there?
This month, it'll be 13 years.
And what is your current duty assignment?
My current duty assignment is a patrol deputy on the northeast side of Bear County.
And does that mean you're a certified peace officer?
Yes.
Deputy Rodriguez, I want to direct your attention to October 10th of 2022. Did you respond to any calls that day?
Yes.
Did you respond, I'm sorry, where did you respond?
I forgot the exact address.
Would it help if you had your report to refresh your memory?
Yes. Thank you.
So I know it's been marked as State's Exhibit 6. If you can refresh your memory with that, just don't read directly from it. What address did you or I'll give you a moment to refresh.
The 8619 Key North Way.
And when you responded to 8619 Key North Way, what was your objective? What were your duties?
We were dispatched there for a possible shooting. So yeah, possible try to start looking for evidence, maybe even a victim or a suspect.
And at any point, did you make your way to the actual residence of 8619?
Yes.
And when you went to the residence, who did you encounter?
That's the exact name. It's Dominic Nicholson.
And was he the only person there, or was there somebody else there?
There was somebody else.
Who was that person?
Email, Lakeisha Nicholson.
And when you encountered Dominic Nicholson, where did you first see him?
I first saw him coming down the stairs.
As he was coming down the stairs, what was he doing?
He was putting on another shirt. He was putting on a shirt.
The state will pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
You didn't enter the house, correct?
Probably later on I did because I was securing the scene.
Okay,
But the initial I was in the doorway.
okay. So this, this interaction occurs outside the doorway, correct?
I was pretty much by like halfway in already at that point where I
Okay.
can see inside the house on both sides,
Okay.
to my left and to my right.
And you noticed then no bedrooms on the first floor, correct?
Correct.
I pass the witness at this time.
State?
Just very briefly, Deputy Rodriguez, how long did you stay on scene?
I stayed for a while, of course, because we were there securing the scene. So yeah, but that's mainly what I did after the initial. After we detained them, I was just really there, just staying on the scene, making sure that nobody disturbs the crime scene or anything like that.
The state will pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense?
When you entered the house, when you were there interacting, you didn't see anything that would have alerted you needed to enter the house right then and there, correct? For example, like an exigent circumstance.
We had been given information that
No. I'm asking you. You're standing at the door. If you had seen something, there are some circumstances when you can enter a residence without a warrant, correct?
yes,
Okay. There were no circumstances that caused you to enter without a warrant, yes or no?
yes, there was. There was a possible shooter inside the house that we were told that he was possibly inside.
Okay,
that
you believe
location.
based on that information, you could have entered the house without a warrant?
Yes, ma'am. A
But
possible
you didn't
shooter
do it, did you?
standing there. I'm sorry. I was already halfway in there, ma'am, when we were
Okay.
asking questions. I was gonna start searching the house, but we had been given information that the shooter was in that house.
Okay. When you spoke to them, that was the only interaction you had with them at that time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness at this time, Judge.
All right, any further questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Deputy Rodriguez, after you saw the defendant coming down the stairs, without saying what anybody said, did he ever go back upstairs or anywhere else in the house?
I can't recall.
Any further questions?
Your Honor, I'm just seeing. Not from the state, actually, yes. Deputy Rodriguez, what is the Bear County Sheriff's incident number for this case?
Can I read it directly off the page?
You can refresh your memory, you just can't read directly from the page.
Um. 033-0369.
All right, and that's, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
And just for the record, that was
Yes, this one right here.
off of State's Exhibit 27, so I just want to make sure that do you recognize this?
It's the I think that's one of our, we get a copy like that too, if we open up our Visionet where we can see all the details from the call.
Is it what's called a key card?
Yes,
Okay. So you can refresh your memory with this. But I will withdraw the question for now. And the state will pass witness.
I have nothing further for Deputy Rodriguez at this time, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
This witness is excused.
Subject to recall, Judge.
All right, just make sure that you're available to testify again. If either party wishes to recall you, you may step down. State, call your next witness.
State calls Deputy Tibbs.
You'll take a seat here, please. Would you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yeah, so sounds like, whoa. All right, if you'll raise your right hand, let me redo that. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that members of the jury can hear. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Deputy Jason Tibbs.
All right, state.
Deputy Tibbs, how are you employed?
I work for Bear County Sheriff's Office.
And what do you do for Bear County Sheriff's Office?
I work in the crime scene unit.
And as the crime scene unit, what are your duties typically?
I get called out to crime scenes. I collect evidence. I take photographs. I do video. We do a Leica scanner out there on major scenes. After that, I bring the evidence back to my office where it's packaged and placed in the property room.
I want to direct your attention to this case. What date, or I'm sorry, where were you dispatched to? What was the first location?
Can I have a report to refer back to, please?
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as States Exhibit 28. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can refresh your memory, just don't read directly from it. What location were you dispatched to initially?
The original location was 8619 Key North Way. Key North Way.
And is that the location that you went to first?
No, it is not.
What is the location that you went to first?
I was redirected over to Pat Booker Road and 1604 on 1604 at the bridge.
And when you were redirected there, did you know what you were what type of scene you were going to?
Yes, I was told that I needed to make contact with the victim's vehicle to photograph damage and photograph the two victims.
And when you arrived at that location, did you encounter the vehicle in question?
Yes, I did.
How would you describe that vehicle?
It was a vehicle with license plate number GH56 Bravo November.
And when you were there, or when you got there, did you notice any defects on that?
Yes, there was a flat tire.
After you noticed the flat,
I took photographs of both of the victims that were in that vehicle.
May I approach?
Yes. I know what you're approaching about.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me have you all step out in the hallway just for 5 minutes. It's the word could. You can only refer to the parties either as complainants or by their name.
Okay.
Because it has not been established if there's a victim.
Okay. Understood.
Yes.
Your Honor, I believe that their violation of the motion in limine constitutes a violation of my client's constitutional rights to a fair trial due process. And I would ask the court to exclude this witness.
and Your Honor, I do believe the a different remedy would be just limiting instruction to the jury, and excluding this officer or this deputy's evidence is an extreme prejudice to the state's case. And the state would just ask that you give a limiting instruction to the jury about the use of the word victims.
So the motion or the request to exclude the witness and the witness's testimony, that will be denied. Defense, would you like for me to give the jury an instruction? And what I can tell you is instruction would be to the jury, if both parties agree, is that there has to be an establishment that there was a victim.
Okay, first of all, I requested this trial based on the violation of my constitutional right.
All right, that will be denied.
Okay, second of all, do I want a limiting instruction on it?
As it relates to the word hit or not. I can ask them to disregard the witness's last answer to the last question.
That would be my preference.
So I'll ask them to disregard witness's last answer and state, you need to instruct your remaining witnesses.
We just did, Your Honor, my apologies on that.
All right, let's bring the jurors in. Okay.
Your, do you need a restroom break?
I can speak one.
Your Honor, may we have a quick restroom break?
Sure.
I-
Is there any objections to me letting the jurors know that we're gonna take a short break for everyone to?
Not in the
Maybe
state.
some facilities.
No.
It will come from me.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
All right,
they don't want any other.
so we're going to a brief recess. Any objection to me letting the jurors know?
No,
All right,
Judge.
thank you.
You need to move around.
The last answer of this witness, does everyone understand? All right, state.
Thank you, Judge. Deputy Tibbs, after you left from 1604 and Pat Booker, what location did you go to?
I returned back to, I went to 8619 Key North Way.
Okay, and while you were there, did you perform any tests, or I guess, did you perform any tests on anyone?
Yes, I did. I collected GSR.
And can you explain, what that is, what that is real quick?
It's the use of a dauber to collect gunshot residue off of hands.
Okay, and what's the process for that?
You follow the instructions provided in the envelope. You fill out the outside of the envelope. You fill out a questionnaire inside of the envelope. I'm already wearing gloves. I put on another set of gloves before actually collecting or using the daubers, and then place the daubers back inside the bag and put in a seal on it and sign that seal.
And where do you, on the hands, like what is the actual process of collecting the gunshot residue?
Okay, it's got a sticky side on it, so whenever I open it up, you do a twist along the inside of the palm, on the finger, and then outside and around, and it's kind of a twist motion on the skin.
And may I approach Judge?
Yes.
Deputy Tibbs, I'm showing you what's marked as State Exhibit 29. What is this?
This is going to be my GSR kit.
Okay, and how do you know that?
I have my initials on the back, and I recognize my writing on the front of it.
Okay, thank you very much. I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
No questions at this time, Your Honor.
Oh,
Well,
I do just want to ask a follow-up question.
Yes.
Deputy Tibbs. I apologize. Can you tell me exactly what you write on this outside package?
Okay, I write the subject's name, Dominic Nicholson. I write down my name, J Tibbs, my badge number, 348. The agency name is BCSO, and then my case number, which is 2022 BCSO 021094.
And that case number, is that unique to each individual case that you are assigned to?
Yes, that is correct.
Now the state will pass the witness.
All right. Defense.
At this time, no questions, Your Honor.
All right. Is this witness excused or subject to recall?
Subject to recall, Your Honor.
All right. So does anybody wish to invoke the rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the rule will be invoked. What that means is you're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state or the defense. And you're not allowed to view anything with regards to this case. Do you understand? All right, thank you. State, call your next witness.
State calls Leslie